Good evening, guys. It is I, Pelt Ragnar Nerd, coming at you from my computer this time, not from my table. Yeah, as you can see on the screen, I'm going to talk about WoW because it's expansion season, and I I spend so much time on it and money on it, so I kind of like to keep an eye on it and see what's going on, and at least somewhat. And yeah, retail, as they even say it, as they even call it. Um, yeah, new expansion, and um, I hear a lot of people sort of hailing it as the "wow is back, wow is back." Finally, retail is finally good again. And after two L's, I think they did deserve that. So great. I'm not gonna shit on it by any means, but I will have some thoughts. Some At some points, I sort of maybe I shouldn't get bothered by it, but I do. So a few things. Obviously, largely, that yeah, new areas, new allied races, and new content, and typical stuff that you would expect. A couple of things that I thought was interesting because like yeah, like most MMOs, certainly MMOs, they do take shall we say inspiration from other MMOs. It's very common. WoW itself is just a better EverQuest in a lot of ways. Worse in others, but better as in sort of more of a streamlined experience, trying to fix some of its weaknesses and blah blah blah, whatever, right? And that's classic WoW, not even modern WoW. So yeah, so obviously the whole skywriting, right? Is that what it's called? Yeah, yeah. I hear this basically is from from Guild Wars 2, like that's how they do that stuff or something like that, which is like yeah, makes sense. Because WoW's got a bunch of mounts, and now you can use them fun ways. Cool, great, by all means. But I think it's important to sort of point out that WoW didn't invent flying in that sense. Like, come on, bro. Warbands and whatnot. Which again, WoW is one of those games that are massively sort of like there is a lot of alcoholics playing WoW. Let's be honest. Someone have like every race class combination at max level before even yeah. So that's impressive. But this being sort of your new sort of login, sort of your character selection thing, instead of just a sort of static list and maybe you standing here look like an idiot. Now, I wouldn't say this is new by any means, but like, hey, so I'm pretty sure I've seen browser games where it's like, yeah, one is standing by a table, one is looking off to the distance. So, you know, that's interesting. But warbands as such, like, yeah, warband bank. In Lotro, we just call it shared storage. It's been there for ages, like, but now, like, I swear to God, like in the future, now WoW will get all the credit for basically inventing a way to have all your loot shared between characters, and that is a tiny bit depressing to me. It shouldn't be, but as it's not an equal playing field, right? Some games are bigger than others, and WoW certainly is bigger than probably the second and third sort of place ranked sort of player base and whatnot. And you have less popular games that have certain features that now would not be ever mentioned again. So yeah, appearances or cosmetics, transmogs, being able to wear what you want to wear, or at least appear the way you want to appear. Nothing new, right? Ain't nothing new. However, I think the day WoW introduced transmogs, everyone else was just like magically called transmogs. People went back to play older games that have cosmetic systems. So yeah, it's kind of like transmogs. This is their version of transmogs, and it's like This system is older than cosmetics system in WoW, is older than the game itself. This is unfair. So I don't know. It's bizarre. I think it's very, very bizarre. And the delves, I don't know. Like I watched some of the videos where they were talking about delves, and I was constantly thinking, you mean delvings from Lotro? Why is the name so close? Do they actually? Did someone at Blizzard play Lotro? Like, man, this was a cool feature. I bet we should totally use it. Of course, they would never mention it ever, right? Because why would they? Right? It is not common to advertise games that you don't own. Even though, and this is also because I remember the just like sit down. I think with some of the leadership. I think Holly Langdale was there. We'll get back to it, and a bunch of other turned over. Yeah, Ultima, and which again, Ultima, as far as I'm aware, is not officially played anymore. Like you can play sort of private service and whatnot, but so that's why it's fine to mention it. Even though Holly Langdale being in the room, she used to manage EverQuest for God's sake, but she now not to mention it. I hate it so much because like come on. And one of the features that was announced being that oh yeah you can sometimes um, you're doing a dungeon or whatever and some characters doesn't show up and you're introducing basically using bots to sort of fill the spot like mercenaries in EverQuest. You mean like it's exactly what it is. um, but yeah, you're not allowed to mention it, and that bothers me. It's that sort of corporate politics stuff that I fucking despise. I hate it so much. Because like we know. I mean, I hope we knew. But like, then they have stuff like, yeah, like you can sit there as the company sort of head of some kind, mention that thing that you did for in another company that was very well received and such. It's like I don't know, even though everyone knows, like, or maybe people I'm sure there are people that don't know that Holly used to work for Daybreak. She used to work on EverQuest, like not just some random programmer, but like the head. Like the chick from that, you used to have Jen Chan's job, like, bro. But not to mention that, and I hate it so much. It's like and and of course recently, right? We have all this talk about the early access debacle, which again I don't think that mattered. So generally, I don't think it's going. I think it's going to matter. I think it's going to have a few people very angry, but then they're going to keep their mouth shut and just keep playing. And of course, like now, of course, Blizzard has gone back and changed some of the difficulties, make the mobs kind of harder, which I guess just because of the early access thing makes it look so bad. I Because like the people that paid for the VIP thing, which is probably what they should have been calling it, not early, just call it the VIP. The poor people thing and the rich people thing and all that. Just call it VIP. Everyone knows what that is. Done deal. Done deal. Um, and yeah, if you're late to the party, you now have a difficult time to get through it because you didn't pay for the VIP ticket. It's very interesting. Yeah. However, at this point, as Blizzard has, as with this expansion, the whole Blizzard has just stolen from a bunch of games. Just go full on and steal the difficulty selection thing from Lotro. Just do it. I guarantee it will solve basically the entire thing. Because you have people, right, that couldn't give a shit about leveling. They don't care. They want to get to max level as fast as possible. At that point, you may think, well, you just pay for a boost then. Just whatever. Right? But you don't. So you go through the whole experience, but then those people sort of influence the decisions to make it easier or harder or whatever, right? Because the leveling should be a ladder, right? to level, and then at the end of the road you have high end rating. There's always this like massive step in between that you're supposed to spend learning the game basically over time. But leveling these days is because I quit in like VOD, right? And from what I hear, it hasn't gotten better. At least on that side. Arguably, it's gotten worse. See people just one-shotting everything in a new area, for God's sakes, too. Like you're like at the same level, and you just can't just pew 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 everything. And no, it's terrible. Now, the debate can rage between the camps that want it or don't want it or whatever. But like I'm telling you, man, the difficulty thing will solve all of it because you can just choose one or like I don't remember how high it goes, but you can make like equivalent of. Imagine if you went into like Alvin Forest and there's like the kobolds there and they're like super strong. You need a group to kill one kobold. If that's what you want, you can do that. If you want the game to be hard as fuck, just leveling, you can make it so, and it doesn't have to impact anyone else. Genius. If SSG can do that with like a quarter of the funds, what the fuck can Blizzard, right? But now they have to do this like now they have to dance the okey doke between like making it not too hard and or not too easy, and it usually ends up being some hodgepodge mess of in between nonsense. So I'm allowed to be I'm allowed to be a bit upset, right? Because even though like every game steals from each other, it's kind of the nature of the beast as it is, and that's fine. I'm just like, but like everyone knows, right? People think, oh yeah, Call of Duty and Halo and whatnot. People still know Wolfenstein and Doom, right? So the pioneers within that genre. Everyone knows that. Problem is that people don't play uh, those old Wolfenstein games, the new ones. But people, Versus like now, like EQ, Lotro, Guild Wars, SWTOR, all those, they're still out there being played, getting content. There shouldn't be this like, let's ignore it. Just, I don't know. So I don't know. Uh, that's my shower thoughts for this day. If I'm making sense to anyone, cool. If it didn't, oh well. Not gonna hold it against you guys. See you guys later. Peace.